What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or video drops. Appreciate you coming back. Share this out, do all the good stuff. Training camp's coming up. Very excited for that, so please stay tuned with all the content and all that good stuff. Anyway, we got another Roster Bubble Series video today for you guys, and the way these work is I take a player that's on the cusp of being cut, the roster bubble, talk about their background, their competition, ways they can win a spot on the roster, ways they can lose a spot on the roster. At the end, it is going to be whether they make the roster or not in my prediction. So Jordan Phillips, the veteran defensive tackle, is going to be our profile today. And a little bit about Jordan Phillips. 6'6", 341, was a second-round pick of the Miami Dolphins in 2015 to 2018. Was out of Oklahoma. Buffalo Bills 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 with the Arizona Cardinals, back with the Bills for 2 years, and then with the Giants now. So maybe, based on the last few years of his career, maybe he'll do 2 years with the Giants. Who knows? But nonetheless, his stats last year for the Buffalo Bills, 14 games, 9 starts, 2.5 sacks, total of 15 tackles, 5 quarterback hits, 2 TFLs, 7 quarterback pressures, and 44% defensive snaps. So what is it about Jordan Phillips? And also I will say this, right? The production, all that stuff, if you listen to PFF, they gave him a really low grade last year. I think it was like 35.2, which isn't great. But hopefully the Giants can coach him up a little bit better. I know he's 31, so how much more can you coach him? But Andre Patterson hopefully gets something out of him because the Giants really need help on the defensive line next to Dexter Lawrence. This is from, I believe, Sports Illustrated. For one, Phillips plays with that junkyard dog mentality. He eats up space, imposes his will, and can be a dominating force in the trenches, and he's a serviceable run stopper. So what's his competition looking like? It is Elijah Chapman, the undrafted free agent from SMU, who can also play fullback. You also have Ryder Anderson, who plays the defensive line position in total, can definitely be next to Dexter Lawrence in a couple of different spots. You have Timmy Horn, the former Atlanta Falcons defensive tackle, and you also have DJ Davidson, who is a former draft pick of Joe Shane. So how can he win? He's got to showcase his veteran experience. And also, if you want to add Nacho to that, sure. I feel like Nacho's locked in unless any of the guys that we listed, they unseat him, which, to be honest, I really don't see. But again, I digress. Showcase veteran experience. He's 31 years old. He's been with 3 different teams. He's been with the Buffalo Bills twice. He's got to learn something. Obviously, there's the Buffalo connection, which, Dable and Shane brought him over. But he's got to showcase his experience. A couple of years ago, I think he had 7.5 sacks. He's just got to be a quality defensive lineman. Stay healthy, that's one thing. I know he's had injury issues over the past couple of years. In my opinion, again, be a quality defensive lineman. As Sports Illustrated listed in one of their descriptions, eat double teams, produce as a pass rusher, and plug gaps. That's all you got to do. If you're taking work away from Dexter Lawrence in terms of, okay, you're eating double teams and this, that, and the third, that's good because Dexter Lawrence can get to the quarterback, and if it's not him, it's Brian Burns or Kayvon Thibodeau. That's a positive. But what I don't want to see is if he's, locked up as a pass rusher, that's one thing. But if he's getting stonewalled in the running game and he's getting washed out like some of these guys we've seen over the last few years, like Nacho was stonewalled against the run last year. Justin Ellis, Henry Mondo, all those different guys the Giants brought in have not worked. And it just seems like the run defense has gotten worse and worse every year. And I get it, Jordan Phillips is an older guy, this, that, and the third, but he's got to be a quality run defender, and he's got to be a quality pass rusher as well. Because we still have to acknowledge that Jordan Riley didn't get a lot of snaps last year, and he's going to have to work some of the things out because obviously A'Shawn Robinson was in front of him, and Nacho was in front of him for a long time. So there are still kinks that this coaching staff has to work out of him, and there's going to be different favorabilities. This is a clean slate with Shane Bowen, so he may look to use different guys in different roles on the defensive line, and Jordan Phillips may or may not be favored. And he just has to come in and be a quality defensive lineman. And this is not, oh, he's got to be a backup or he's going to be a backup. There's a very good chance, in my personal opinion, if he makes this roster, he could be starting week 1 versus the Vikings, because you don't know if Jordan Riley's ready for that yet. You don't know if DJ Davidson's ready for that yet. You obviously move guys around and whatnot, and they'll get the rotation time, but the starter-wise, it definitely could be Jordan Phillips next to Dexter Lawrence. That's just my personal opinion. It could also be somebody else that we don't even know about. How can he lose? Injury, I think that would be the biggest detriment to him making the roster is injury. He hasn't really played a full season over the last few years, because last year was 14 games, 12 games the prior season, 21 9 games, 29 games, and then the last full season was 2019, 16 games and 9 starts. So, yeah, he only missed 3 games last year, but still, that's big, especially if he's going to be a decent defensive tackle right next to Dexter Lawrence, or a defensive lineman, wherever they position him. That would be a loss for the Giants, and if he's not on the field that much, what is it worth in keeping him? But injury, washed up versus the run, and stonewalled as a pass rusher. Those two are very big. And really, mainly, I look at being washed versus the run. Because, again, he could be a decent pass rusher. He's shown that I think he's a better pass rusher than he is a run defender, but he's serviceable in both areas. He's not great. But if he is stonewalled as a pass rusher, just at least eat the double teams. But if he's washed versus the run, and, it has to go to the second level where Bobby Okereke and Isaiah Simmons and Micah McFadden are working extra, that's not going to be too good. But I do have Jordan Phillips making the roster. I think his veteran presence and being in the league for about 10-ish years, I think this might be his 10th season. Yeah, 24 is going to be his 10th season in the NFL. So I think his veteran presence is definitely going to be seen and shown, and I think they will give him some nice reps in training camp, and I think he will be able to defeat some of the guys that he is competing with, like Chapman, Anderson, etc., etc. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or video drops. Appreciate you coming back. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.